I love reflecting on the unique gifts of woman. So I think it's so important that women think more clearly, think more about the special gifts that they've been given so that they know what to cultivate in themselves. And of course, it's so important for the rest of us, I guess that means men, to learn from what they've been given. So I want to reflect here on 3 ways that women specialize in love, with the idea that women will know all the more, have all the more confidence in cultivating these things and recognizing a gift that they've been given, and that we men, will receive a gift that's being given to us of learning from what they've been given and what they give to us. So the first is something I've done a separate video on because I love the point so much. The first is when a woman welcomes a newborn infant. Just that moment of, I rejoice in your existence. Welcome. And this is such a beautiful instance of loving. But I go on to 2 other ones. A woman's a special ability to be able to sympathize with those who are suffering, and a woman's ability to rejoice in the success of someone, regardless of whether it's something in which she already has an interest or not. And here, this happens more broadly than just towards children, but I'm just going to illustrate it and think about it briefly by looking at children. So the way a child who's been hurt tends to go to the mother. Why? She has this special ability to be able to sympathize, to enter into, to kind of feel the sorrow with the child. This is such an important aspect of love. Love always wants to go and be with the beloved. And a huge part of life is the sorrow and the suffering that we have. So a woman's ability to enter into that is a huge part of the gift of her love. You know, as a man, I think in general, we men struggle with emotions in general, of thinking maybe sorrow is something we shouldn't feel so much, that would be more weak. And so this can make it more difficult for us to just enter into sorrow and be there in it. So that just, from that angle, I recognize all the more, and I kind of stand in awe of, wow, just kind of no fear right there in her emotions, be able to go into the emotions of the other in love. Then a woman's ability to be able to rejoice in the success of another, regardless of whether she otherwise would have been interested. And again, here it so stands out to me, coming from the man's side, because of how difficult that is for me. And I don't want to overgeneralize. We have to be careful about that. But I think that we men tend to be more focused on our projects and more have to struggle to appreciate the good of things that we don't find ourselves already interested in. This is why a child tends to bring that project that he's just been working on, that little picture, if you can even call it a picture, that he brings, and mother goes, oh, this is amazing. This is so good, right? And there's, men look at that and they kind of think, what's going on there? And might think that the woman is just faking it. But maybe what we need to realize is the woman's not faking it. The woman's seeing something, well, in this case, that's simply age appropriate. There's a great goodness here, something to rejoice in, a great success. And she sees it, and she's willing and able to enter into it. Thank God. My point here in pointing to these 3 things is in no way to bash men, say there's something wrong with men. It's to recognize the gift of the difference in an amazing aspect. I always like to come back to an amazing aspect of the gift of complementarity, and the difference is how we need to learn from one another. So I hope in focusing and emphasizing the gifts of woman, it will both encourage them to know what they can, with confidence, move forward and cultivate, even if up to this point it hasn't so much come to be yet. It's something that they can cultivate and discover themselves in cultivating. And on the side of the man, to simply learn by observing. So as women more and more achieve the beauty of their natural specializing in love, they grow themselves. They have so much more to give to those around them and those that can learn simply by their example.